Hi. No. Hi, my name is Lingjing Gu. Today my topic is open source. The term open source refers to something that people can modify and share because its design is publicly accessible. The term originates in the text of software development to specify the specific methods of creating a computer program. Today, however, open source refers to a broader set of values, what we call open set. Open source programs, products, or creativities, including the principles of open communication, cooperation, participation, rapid prototyping, transparency, exclusive and communicative-oriented development. What is open source software? Open source software is software with source code that anyone can check, modify, and enhance. The source code is part of the software that most computer users never see. It is the code that computer programmers can manipulate to change a piece of software, a program, or application to work. A programmer who has access to the source code of a computer program can improve the program by adding a feature to it or fix a component that does not always work correctly. Why do people prefer to use open source software? People like to use open source software, including following reasons. First, control. Most people prefer open source software because they have more control over the software. They can check the code to make sure it does not do anything they don't want to do, and they can change the parts they don't like. Users who are not programmers also benefit from open source software because they can use the software for whatever purpose they want, not just what others think they should do. Training. Others like open source software because it can help them become better programmers. Because open source code is publicly accessible, students can easily learn it because it learns to make better software. Students can also share their work with others, inviting comments and creativities as they develop their skills. When people find errors in the source code of the program, they can share the error with others and help them avoid making mistakes like themselves. Safety. Some people like open source software because they think it is more secret than proprietary software and stability. Since anyone can view and modify open source software, someone may and correct any error or mistake that the original author of the program may make. And because so many programmers can work on open source software without the original author's promotion, they can repair, update, and for the open source software faster than proprietary software. Stability. Many users prefer open source software to proprietary software for important long-term projects. Because programmers distribute open source software source code publicity, users who rely on the software for mission-critical tasks can determine that their tool will not disappear or fail if their original authors stop working on them. In addition, open source software tends to combine and operate according to open standards. In conclusion, the rule of open source is often used in the popular movement of individuals, organizations, and corporations to find ways to integrate such sort of software into mainstream applications. According to the definition of open source initiative, open source does not just mean access to source code. Thank you for listening.